Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, write a Java program to demonstrate connecting to a database. Let me answer this question with practical demonstration. In order to write a Java program and via the Java program, if you want to connect to a database, we have to take the help of JDBC, guys, Java Database Connectivity. And before that, we should have a database which is already set up. Okay. Then only from the Java programs via JDBC, if you want to connect to a database, we have to set up a database. Without setting up a database, how can you use Java programs or via JDBC? How can you connect to a database which doesn't exist? So I'll explain you everything, guys. Okay. How to set up a database and how to write the Java program and then use JDBC to connect to this particular database that you have set up. Okay. So step by step, I'm going to cover everything in the easiest way. So to answer this particular question, for that, I'll first open the browser, guys. To set up the database, we need to first install something known as XAMPP. You can see here, XAMPP software you have to download and install. For that, you open that and just whatever the software you generally want to download, right? Type the name of the software and space download you have to say. And here, click on this. After clicking on this is XAMPP for Windows is there, XAMPP for Linux is there, XAMPP for OS X is there, like that different operating systems are there. I'll choose Windows, guys. And in that, I'll take the latest version, 8.2.12 version of the XAMPP. Click on download here. And here, the moment I click on the download, right, it has taken me to this particular page. Your download will start automatically. If it doesn't click here, I'll just click here so that it will start if it doesn't start. Let's see whether my download has started. Yes, my download of XAMPP software has started successfully here. Let's wait for the XAMPP software to get downloaded in my machine. Okay. So yeah, let's wait for this, for the XAMPP software to be downloaded in my machine. Almost 5 seconds left out to get this download of the exe file of the XAMPP software to be ready in my machine so that I can go forward and start downloading, start installing it. Yeah, it got downloaded. Click on the folder icon. It will take to the place where it got downloaded in my machine. So this is the place it got downloaded, guys. XAMPP software got downloaded in my machine here. Just double click on this exe file of the software of XAMPP. I got this. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Yes. I'll just select as in the user access control dialog that came. Now we need to get an installation wizard or something to install the XAMPP software. We should get some installation wizard. So let's wait for the installation wizard to be appeared on the page. Yeah, you'll get this kind of warning, guys. That's okay if you get this kind of warning saying that important because an activated user account on your system, some functions are possibly restricted with USC. Please avoid to install XAMPP too. Okay. See or deactivate USC with the miss after this setup. Some kind of messages coming say okay, you don't have to worry much. Then you'll get the installation wizard like this. Setup XAMPP. Okay. Setup XAMPP kind of will come. Now what you have to do is just click on next. Don't do any changes, guys. MySQL and all these things will come. Just click on next. You see in your C drive, in the XAMPP folder, the XAMPP will be installed. Click on next and language English. Click on next. Setup is now ready to begin installing XAMPP on your computer. Click on next. Welcome to XAMPP. XAMPP is an easy to install Apache distribution containing MySQL, PHP and Perl. So installation is going on, guys. So without setting up a database, there is no way of writing some Java code here and via JDBC. If you want to connect to the database, that's not possible. For that, we need a database, guys. That's the reason. I'm going to, set up a database in a step-by-step manner. Once the installation is completed, I'll resume this video. Okay, it's almost there. So I got a dialog asking some permissions. I said hello in between. So almost the installation is almost done for XAMPP. Let's wait and see how much more time it takes. Finally, the last step, guys. Do you want to start the control panel now? Yeah, it's okay. After finishing, if it starts automatically, that's fine. I'll get a control panel of the XAMPP software will be automatically launched, or I can start it from here by searching for XAMPP here. This is nothing but when you open the XAMPP, right, you'll get this kind of stuff. Okay. Now in this MySQL, you just start the MySQL only, guys. You don't have to worry about other stuff. The MySQL is running on the port number 3306. You can say it's currently running. Okay, it's currently running now. This is what you have to do with the XAMPP, guys. MySQL is one of the database management systems, okay, where you can create databases and you can work with the SQL language to query the databases, etc. So now in my machine, I have the MySQL MySQL running, DBMS software running. That's DBMS. The reason why I've installed XAMPP is for getting this MySQL only, guys, DBMS software. Now I can open the command prompt and run a lot of commands on this MySQL DBMS to create the database, etc. As part of setting up the database, I'll just open the command prompt CMD, I'll say, and in the command prompt, in the displayed command prompt, let's the command prompt get displayed. In the displayed command prompt, I'll say, I should not be opening the command prompt here. Rather, I have to open the command prompt in the XAMPP folder, MySQL and bin folder. Okay, let me go to the location in my machine C drive. In that Z drive, go to the XAMPP folder somewhere. You'll find the XAMPP folder created automatically when you install XAMPP software. In that, go to the MySQL. Okay, in that, go to the bin folder. And at this location, you can run the commands. Okay, at this location, you can run the commands. So here, I'll select this and set CMD. Here you will have some exe files because of which, that will be possible. Once you are at that location, what you have to do? You have to set the password. MySQL admin.exe file. Okay. In this folder location, guys, in this folder location, MySQL admin.exe file is there, right? That I want to run it. Okay. So for that, I'll write the same thing. MySQL MySQL in this folder location. I opened the command prompt at this bin folder location, MySQL bin folder location, where I have this file. I'll just type the same file name, that is MySQL admin.exe file. Space, we have to run the remaining command. We have to type the remaining command. That is -u, username root, and password root. Okay. For the root username, set the password root. Okay. That's what you are saying. -u means username. The username is root, and password. Password also you set it to root. Okay. Password and set it to root, guys. Okay. And once you press enter, you see, if you get a blank means everything is working fine. Now, if you want to connect to the MySQL database management system, MySQL, if you want to connect, simply type MySQL -u, root is a username, -p you say it will ask for the password, guys. Press enter, it will ask for the password. Password is also, we have set the password to root. So type root in the, you'll not be able to see the password, but the password is root that you have set in the earlier step. Press enter. You see, welcome to MariaDB, monitor commands and all those stuff. You see, Mario, something is coming. That's okay, guys. Okay, you're connected to the MySQL now. And now, simply type some commands like show databases, show databases. Okay, show databases. Type show databases. Press enter. Databases will come. There is information schema, MySQL. Test database is there. I want to create my own database, guys. Okay. I want to create my own database. For that reason, what I will do is I'll say create database name, let's say QFox with the name. You see in this list, QFox database is not there. I would like to create a database with the name QFox. Press enter. Okay, any mistake I've done? Create database QFox. I think that is done. Okay, semicolon is missing, guys. Okay, that's the thing. One row affected, create database. After that, you have to give the semicolon, guys. Okay, no matter how many database you create database name, semicolon you have to give. That was missing. I gave here, it working fine. Then after that, again say show databases. Show databases. Again, put a semicolon here. You see, this time, along with the earlier databases, we also have a new database, that is QFox database. Okay, so we have successfully created a database, guys. I would like to use a database. Use QFox. You see, it's now connected to QFox. Okay. So like this, guys, we can run some commands to set up the database. Okay. So we have to run some commands to set up the database. So this is not required anymore. Fine. Okay. So this is how we can set up the database. Now the turn will go into the Java program. Now the database is available. MySQL database is available. In the database, we have this, we have MySQL database management system running at the 3306 port number. And in that, we have successfully created a database known as QFox. And we are successfully using the database, okay, QFox database. Now we have to run some Java program which will take the help of JDBC to connect to this particular QFox database. Okay, how to do that? How to do that? Where the name of the database is QFox that I want to connect, and how to connect to this QFox database. from the Java programs with the help of JDBC, something I'm going to show, which is the main answer for this question. If you don't have any database set up in your machine, you will not be able to do all this stuff, guys. Okay, that's the reason we have to do all this stuff. So here, guys, I'll create a new class. I'll create a new class, guys. Right click on the package and select new class. Name this class as uh, Java database connectivity connecti connectivity demo. Okay, Java database connectivity demo with main method you create. And once you create that, inside the main method, you write down, inside the main method, you write down like just give some string and say some URL. Okay, URL you say, URL is equal to some URL, you just type some URL like to connect to the database using JDBC, right? We have to write all this step JDBC colon which database management, which DBMS, MySQL, say colon, double forward slash, local host means your local machine, this machine, okay, where the MySQL database management system is running, right? Either if it is not running in your machine, you have to give the IP address in which the MySQL database management system is running. JDBC colon MySQL colon double slash localhost colon, in which port number this MySQL database is running, 3306 port number. Give that port number here, 3306. This is the way we have to write the URL. After that, string DB name. So here also provide a slash like this, and then give the DB name, guys. What is the DB name? What is the database name you have set up? QFox is the database name, right? QFox is the database name. You see, here you created a database known as QFox. Okay, so that QFox you give here. QFox is the database name. And if you want to get this DB URL, I have to connect this URL and then with this one. So string DB URL is equal to URL plus DB name. Okay, this will become the database URL. Okay, URL plus string DB URL is equal to, what is the problem here? Okay, just give me a second. This is gone. Yeah, just give me a second. DB URL is equal to this, concatenate this string with this one so that it will become something like this. JDBC and slash QFox will be there. Okay, this is the DB name. Then string, we have the username also, right? The username is what? Root is a username. For connecting to this DBMS software, we have to use root as a username, and password also I set it to root. So password also I'll give the root as a password. Now this part is done. Now what is the next one? So the next one is we have to first, before connecting to the database, guys, okay, using all these details, we can connect to the database. But before connecting to the database, we have to do some changes in this particular project. What are the changes? First thing is that, uh, have to get this driver, okay, from com.mysql.jdbc.driver. For this driver class, we have to create an object, okay. To get this driver class from this com.mysql.jdbc, we need that JDBC library to be added to this project, okay. Go to the pom.xml file here, guys. In this particular project, go to the pom.xml file. So have went to the pom.xml file. Here in the pom.xml file, here we have some dependencies. You can remove that by default dependencies. You can remove that, no problem. And here I need to add a new dependency that I need for JDBC related, okay, Java JDBC related dependency I need to add. So for that, I'll just go to the MVN repository and search for that. So I need something like MySQL JDBC. In this MVN repository, I'll search for MySQL JDBC like this. I'll search for something. Let's see what will come in the results. MySQL connector, MySQL. Okay, looks like this one only. Just click on this first one. And here 8.4.0 something is JDBC drivers are there, you see. Just click on the latest one. Once you do that, Once you click on this, you'll get this Maven kind of stuff. Copy this Maven. Just click on this, it will be copied to the clipboard. You see MySQL connector J is there. So what should be there actually? I think that's the one I'm thinking so. Fine. Okay, that is a thing. Let's say, let's try that out. And here, add the dependencies between the dependency tags. Okay, between the dependencies, add the dependency. Now save this. Just wait for that. Save and wait for that. Once you save it, just come back here and here write down. Okay, we have to create an object for something else. Okay, so what is that something? I'll tell you. Just go here. Once you added that library of JDBC library, MySQL JDBC library to pom.xml file and saved it, right? The libraries got added under the dependencies. MySQL connected something. Expand that. Here somewhere you will get com.mysql.jdbc. In that you will get the driver class. Okay. For this driver class, you have to create an object, guys. So how to do that? Class dot for name. You want to create any object for a particular class, right? You can say class.forName and you have to give the name of the class for which you have to create the object. This class is under this package com.mysql.jdbc. So here give double quotes and give the package name in which the class is available. MySQL.jdbc.jdbc. Just make sure your JDB should not be any spelling mistakes. Dot driver. Okay, driver is a class. For this, I need to create an object, guys. How to create an object? Dot create some new instance, I think so. New instance, okay. You say new instance, it will create an object for this. So this got deprecated, guys, okay. New instance got deprecated. How to create? We have to find it out now. So you are trying to create an object for. So what is the latest way of creating an object? Let's find it out, okay. For any particular class, this driver class from com.mysql JDBC, you have to create an object, but this new instance command from Java has been deprecated, looks like. So let's find it out how to create an object for com.mysql.jdbc.driver in Java programs. Let's see what is the solution that we'll get. That solution we have tried. Let's see. Class.forName. That's it. And how to create an instance. You're not creating an instance actually. This code will first restart JDBC with the driver manager. So here, okay, that's okay. Driver manager connection connect driver.connect. Okay. Fine. Restart the JDBC driver is something that they are expecting, but you don't have to give anything here. Put a semicolon here. Let's see if this works, then fine. You see, for now, I'll ignore this exception, but later I'll, kind of things. For this, we generally have to create an instance, guys, but you don't have class for dot for name. What is happening here, restart the JDBC driver. We have registered it. There's nothing but registering the JDBC driver, okay? By doing this class.forName, right? This forName method returns the class object associated with the class or interface. Invoking this method is equivalent to class loader of the current class. So defining class loader of the current class, runtime class objects for the name. Okay. Okay. Fine. That's okay. It will return you something like class related stuff and you can create an object if you want, but this is enough. Okay. Registering the JDBC driver, JDBC driver. I don't think you have to do much here. So this one is more than enough. New instance is not required. Let's see. After registering the JDBC driver, okay. After registering the JDBC driver, then you have to create an object for the driver, guys. How to create an object for the driver? Then write down here the code driver manager. Okay, after registering the driver, then say driver manager dot. You can go with this one directly, guys. Okay, get connection of URL, that is DB, database URL, username and password. Three things we have to give. So first thing is DB URL you have to give here. Second thing, DB URL you have to give here. Second thing is username, it's already ready. And password, give this password, put a semicolon here. Again, you are getting an exception. Checked exception is coming. Ignore the exception for a while, guys. Okay. I'll implement that. What to do, I'll tell you. Okay. At the end, it's very important to use try catch block, but yeah, fine. Get connection. We'll get the connection. Object of the connection will come. Connection. Connection is equal to for the mouse, or do one thing. Just write this and say over the mouse and say create. This is the easiest way. Just hover the mouse. Why it's not coming? Connection. Hover the mouse. Create local variable. Okay. Sometimes it will not come. That's okay. You have to take care. So then connection is established. Get connection means is the connection established or not? We have to say. If you want to close the connection, you can close the connection. But here, this will start the connection, guys. Okay. This line will start the connection. Connect to the database. This statement is for connecting to the database anyhow. Try, you say directly connection means connecting to the database. Okay. You don't have to write two lines. Connecting to database. Connecting to DB. Which DB? In this case, QFox DB you are connecting. Okay. Connecting to the database that you have set up. That is, okay. That's it done. So if there are any problems, you see this throws, you remove it, you get the errors here, and surround this entire thing with try catch blocks. Okay, entire thing with try catch block, whatever that may be. Write down catch exception e, and here write down system.out.println e. So here organize the code, Control Shift F, the code will get automatically get organized. So you see, once a connection is established, right, it's a good idea to close the connection once the task is done. So write the finally block also to close the connection. Once the task is done, okay, once you connect to the database and task is done, right, it's better to close the connection. So finally block, in the finally block, you write down connection dot close. Okay, you make it global so that you can access it in the final block. Otherwise, it's local to the try block only. Copy this and put it here. Connection is equal to null. And after that, say connection is equal to, and now connection dot close, you can say. Let's see what will happen here. Dot close. Again, here exception is coming. Again, ignore try catch block you have tried. If in case an exception comes while closing the object, right? You have to write like that. Okay, fine. This is the code you have tried, guys. Okay. This finally block is an extra block where you are trying to close, guys. Okay, this is not compulsory. Otherwise, you'll get the warning. If I remove the finally block, you see that connection is getting a warning message. Okay, the value of the local variable connection is not used. Okay, so close the connection, the error will be gone. Okay, done. Warning will be gone. It's better to close the connection once the task is done. It's better to close. I'll prefer to close that in the finally block. And when I try to close the connection, right, there's a possibility of an exception and surrounding with try catch block to resolve that exception. Okay, fine. Anyhow, so this is what we have to do, guys. This is what is the code that we have to write in Java to connect to the database with the help of JDBC. Okay, this is all from JDBC, guys. All these things are from JDBC. You see, Java SQL Driver Manager from java.sql package, driver manager, all these are from JDBC. Okay, you will get this from JDBC only, Java database connection. Fine, guys. So just say class.form name, register the JDBC driver, and after that, connect to the database by writing this line right driver manager dot get connection of. Here, give the entire this URL along with the QFox. Okay, this DB URL you have to give. Don't forget to provide / here. If you don't provide, that will be a problem, guys, because you are concatenating it. It will not become a proper URL. Make sure this is ending with / and then concatenate with QFox database. Then the connection, the URL for the database will be there. JDBC URL for database will be there. Then give the password, username and password of the MySQL DBMS. Okay, here. And this will establish the connection. If the connection is properly established, right, system.out.println. Okay, connected to database. Connected to If no exception is coming here means this print statement will be printed connected to database. Okay, connected to database. Okay. So we can know whether we have connected to the database or not in this process. Okay, let's run this code and see whether already database is running. Make sure that XAMPP software is running and MySQL database is running at the port number 3306 that we have given here. Under that QFox database we have already set up. Okay, yeah, make sure that QFox database or whatever the database that you want to give is set up and give the proper username and password and write all this code. Now run the code and see whether we are getting a message like connected to database here. If you are getting the message connected to database means we are good to go. Connected to database. You see, it's saying that loading class com.mysql JDBC driver. This is deprecated. The new is the old way, I think so. It's the old way. Let's find it out. What is the latest way? The new driver class is com.mysql cj JDBC driver. Okay. So maybe you can take this one. It's suggesting you something like, right, 1 minute. It's very difficult to copy here. Copy this and I'll copy in my notepad or something. So here, what is that is suggesting instead of using com.mysql JDBC driver, you use com.mysql cj.jdbc driver. Okay. So copy that and change that thing here. Change that thing here. It's the older one. You take the latest one. That doesn't matter. Okay. You have to restart the JDBC driver from this package, com.mysql cj.jdbc package. Let's find out here in our library, com.mysql.cj.jdbc should be there. cj.jdbc, where is that? Is there anything like that? Yeah. com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Under that, we should have the driver class then. Yeah, driver class. This driver class, it's asking us to register first. Okay. After registering the JDBC driver, then you try to connect to the database with the help of the driver thing. Okay. Right click run as. This time we should get the output properly connected to database should come properly without any error message. You see, this states that the connection is established. If I do any small mistake also, if I give a wrong password here, you see connection will not be established. Here I'll write down something. System.out.println connection to database failed. Okay, connection to database failed. I'll write. No matter whether it is connected to database or not, it will close the connection. Right click run as Java application. Let's see what will happen here. Okay, that's okay. Connection to database failed. Failed will come. Okay. Access denied for username root at the rate. Some message is coming and here exception in thread main. At the line Java 33 it is coming. So this connection is unable to close because it's not established data. How can it close when it is not established? Okay, if you don't want to do anything here, write down. Just don't print anything. That's it. Okay. Just keep it empty. That's also fine. So fine. So that's the thing, guys. Connection to database failed will come if you give wrong details here. If you give all the proper details, then only it will be connected to see. That's how it's connecting to the database. I can prove you that. Run the code. This time it will connect to the database without any problem. You say connected to database and connection also got closed. Once it is connected means connection need to be released. Okay, and it will be released here. Okay, when you say connection.close, it will be released. If there is no object created, right, we will get null pointer exception at this particular line because no connection has been established means connection will be null. Connection will be null if you know, and that's why you got null pointer exception in that case. So if you want to even don't get a null pointer exception no matter what, right? Exception and system.out.println. Just print the details of key, okay? And you can continue the program. System.out.println, end of this program. The program will continue. System.out.println, system.out.println, end of this program. End of this program. This line is getting executed means the exceptions are properly handled. If in case of any connection problem, root one I am giving again, just to make sure that this program is working fine or not. Control Shift O and just run the code. Right click run as Java application and see what is happening. Connection to database failed. SQL exception access denied for the user. That is coming from this catch block. Connection to database failed and exception details got printed. And finally block, it's unable to close because null pointer exception will be there. Okay. Null pointer exception cannot invoke connection close because connection is set to null. End of this program got executed. What if you give the proper details here? Root proper username password you give or proper database name you give and proper details you give means connection will be established. Okay, without any problem, database connection will be established. You can run some SQL queries if you want. but I'm not going to answer that how to do that, initiate that SQL queries and all here. Okay, maybe part of another question, I'll answer that question for you, how to run the SQL queries after connecting to the database on the databases. And look, further, we have to create some tables and all. Maybe in the upcoming interview questions, right? I'll answer that. For now, this is a code for connecting to the one of the database via JDBC in Java. Okay. So I'm just you can take the screenshot of this code, guys. You can take the screenshot of this code. So hope guys you have taken the screenshot of the code for connecting to the database in one of the database management systems like MySQL using JDBC in Java. This is a process. Okay. So hope guys with practical demonstration, you have understood how to write a Java program to connect to a database. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.